Hey, and welcome back. I'm Marshaun Olaniyan. You are listening to Love Restored on Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome back. We are talking about sex today. SEX, before you're in a relationship, and why you should wait. Why you should wait. But before we do that, let's talk about Love Restored and why I decided to start Love Restored. Again, I'm Marshaun Olaniyan. I have been coaching Black women for about 15 years. And it took me to figure out how to love me in order for me to be able to help those beautiful women, right? And so now, when I was starting Love Restored, I was like, what could really help to impact these people, specifically the Black women, in order for them to really make themselves a priority? And a lot of it has to do with the fact that a lot of us have given so much love away. We have been so disappointed by those around us, or we never received the tools or tips or strategies in order to cultivate these beautiful relationships. And so now a lot of us are jaded. A lot of us are jaded. And what I've come to find out and realize is that we're jaded because of the love that we gave away at like sacrificial lambs. Instead of demanding that we receive the love from the person that we're giving it to, we just kept giving. And when you give, that's when that frustration is there. That's when you feel sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's when you erupt like a volcano, because instead of you having conversations about this stuff, you allow it to just to pile up, and build up. And so we no longer want to do that. We want to understand that making ourselves a priority and putting ourselves on our own priority list is vital. It is essential to us keeping our sanity, making sure that our mental health is intact. And so, what I love to do here at Love Restore is to impart the wisdom, to impart the knowledge that I didn't have, to help you to love on yourself, literally, to help you to love on yourself, because it is that important, it's that vital for you to know how important you are and then roll with that. So, here at Love Restored, I am supplying you with the tools. I'm supplying you with the tips. It is up to you to take the information and do what you will with the information in order to up level your life. I can't do it for you. I can only give you the information. And so Love Restored is all about literally pulling the information on a platter for you to digest and then do something with, not to just digest and know it. You have to know it and then apply it in order to change your life around. And so, for the next 30 minutes, we will be engaging in this conversation about why you should not give away your body, i.e., have sex before you get into a relationship committed relationship. Now, let me just jump back and talk about the Bible really quickly for those other Christians that are on here. God has already said that we should not be having sex before marriage. And a lot of the reasons, now he didn't list these, right? But I am listing them because I really feel that this goes into why he wanted us to wait. And the very first thing is the emotional bonding that is not happening. So research actually shows that when we decide to have sex early on, before we establish an emotional bond, then that deeper connection that we want so badly is crippled. It does not develop. It doesn't develop. So by waiting, you're in a better situation, and waiting until you get into a relationship at the very least. Now you can focus on building trust, communication, and understanding before introducing your lovely body to the other person. So those emotional bonds that we want, those deeper connections that we want so badly, does not form properly. Now, is this across the board? Absolutely not. Because the truth of the matter is, my very first real boyfriend and I got married. And we did have sex early on, but we're also divorced. We also didn't establish as deep a bond as I believe that we had. There was a lot of underlying lying in there, which is what ultimately led to the divorce. Because again, that deeper connection, and specifically the communicating, the trust, like a lot of that stuff was forfeited because of what came up later on. So, as much as I thought we had a very deep emotional bond, we did not. The second thing, that waiting, not having sex before you're getting to a relationship at the very least, is compatibility. So, waiting to have sex allows you both to explore other important aspects of this potential partner, like your values, your goals, what interests you have or don't have, right? And then even the both of your personality. Does his personality match up to something that you want long term? And by prioritizing these factors first, right, you can better assess your compatibility with this person before the sex comes into play. Can he mentally stimulate you before you think about sex? Have you even talked about sex outside of the bedroom, like what you like? Because a lot of times we go into sex, specifically with a new partner, we haven't had the conversation because we think it's kind of weird. And I'm not saying that it's not necessarily weird, but it is a conversation that you want to have and establish. That way, when it does come time for the sex part to happen, this person already knows what you like. And a lot of those awkward moments that occur during sex, I'm not saying won't be there at all, but they'll definitely be decreased because you have had an adult, intelligent conversation about your likes and dislikes inside of the bedroom. So if and when you two make it there, and I'm assuming that if you're having a conversation about sex, you're either nearing it or you both have entertained what it would be like to be with the opposite person. So having an intelligent conversation about what your likes and dislikes before you even get there will even make the experience that much better and special by just slowing down and having said conversations. So the compatibility before you get in the bed, as well as after you have gotten into the bedroom and experienced the person and what they bring to the table, because now you already know. And maybe you don't know everything because that person is not going to tell you everything. And especially if they have some fetishes or kinky stuff going on, they're not going to tell you all of that prior to, because a lot of us have a fear of being judged. None of us want to be judged. So maybe later on they'll show you that stuff, but you still have a general idea of how to satisfy, i.e., please the other person. But again, this is before you actually get into the bedroom. This is just through conversation. This is through the communication. This is what I like. And then you can even really experience, can I trust this person? I shared this intimate detail about myself. Like, dislike, let's go with dislike. I said that I do not like this thing. And now when you get into the bedroom, you can see if that person really paid attention to your likes and dislikes, to your needs, to making you feel special when you actually get there. So it's a lot of things that can actually happen prior to. And then you're even more excited when you do get an opportunity to explore their body. The third thing, that waiting for sex before you get into the relationship, is that it reduces your risk, our risk of heartache. How many times have you had a friend? Because we're not talking about you, right? This didn't happen to you. You happen to be a friend. How many times have you heard a friend come complain that they are going to have sex because that's something that they want to do with the neck rolls and all this other stuff? And then once they do it, before they have a title, now they're, oh my God, I shouldn't have did that. I don't know why I did it. I'm so stupid. And now there's the negative self-talk that they're throwing in there, as well as all of the things. So it decreases, right? It decreases the fact of you feeling emotionally empty or even confused, or because you expected something. So these expectations, unwritten rules that you have decided to put on your partner, your casual partner, right? It wasn't a conversation. It's something that you just expected to happen, goes away. But when you're waiting to have sex, right, until you're in a committed relationship, this can help protect you from these potential negative emotional experiences. Is this going to protect you from everything? Absolutely not. Because I do also know that some people will wait just to have sex with you, give you exactly what you need, tell you exactly what you want to hear, and then as soon as they have sex with you, they are ghosts. So it is a risk. Life is about taking risks. Everything is a risk. Everything that you do. Building a business is a risk. Asking somebody for their hand in marriage is a risk. Getting married, actually saying I do, is a risk because we know that the divorce rate is high. 50% of people that get married are going to end in divorce. And guess what? In the Black community, it's even higher. It's 56%. 50%, 56% of couples in the Black community will get divorced. So it's even higher than the national average. It's even higher than the national average. So we want to decrease the divorce rate while increasing the marriage rate by just slowing down, asking more questions, being more intentional about the person that you are searching for, that you find, being using your God-given discernment by the people that come to you, offer you conversation, that say that they are attracted to you, by just slowing down and not feeling like you have to move forward with this person because nobody has paid you attention in this way in months and maybe even years. By slowing down, using your God given discernment, a lot of that heartache can go away. A lot of it can never happen if you just slow down and know that you are worthy enough for the right person, the right man to come along, not just any man. Because a lot of this heartache that we experience is from our choices. And we have to be big girls and big boys and own our choices. So it was your choice to go out to the club. It was your choice to have a one night stand. It was your choice, right? And then you're feeling guilty or having the negative self talk or even judging yourself later on. When if you just slow down, you can reduce all of this risk of heartache. Slowing down to see how compatible the two of you are outside of the bedroom. Because a lot of times when we find out that we are compatible inside the bedroom, all of that deep emotional bonding that we were trying to do before and all of the questions that we were asking, they seem to disappear. They seem to float away in hyperspace somewhere. No longer where it should be, which is right here. Should be asking all of the questions that you can in order to really see if this person is for you. Like I talked about that, I think 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, about asking all of the questions. You got to ask more questions in order to figure out where this person is, if your values and morals and goals match up. And again, it doesn't have to be 100% across the board. And it shouldn't be, because then that's going to be super mundane and boring. You want somebody to have some differences that they're bringing to the table. So now you two can continue to explore things together as new experiences. So slow down, see if you're compatible, connect on a deeper level. So now you're not feeling like, oh my gosh, this is not working out. And when we slow down, that's when you're able to really assess who this person is, how they react to things, how they respond to things, how they treat other people, how they even talk about their exes. Because here's the thing, if they're talking negatively about their exes, it's not to say that some of the things that they're mentioning are not true. However, comma, you may be an ex one day, and now the bad mouthing becomes you. So we don't want to do that. We want to be more intentional about the person that we are dating. We just want to slow things down, y'all. We do not have to jump so far ahead just to have sex for that moment, half an hour, hour, whatever the moment is. It's still a fleeting moment. then it's gone. And especially casual, because the very thing that you say that you want and that you're looking for, you'll never get by continuously opening yourself up to just anybody that is coming along because you are lonely, or it's been a long time, or when is my time coming? But are you doing the work on yourself? Is what you are expecting from somebody else, can you also give it? There are plenty of things that you could be doing in this season of waiting, which is getting you together, growing yourself, growing your mind, growing your self esteem, growing your confidence, getting all of these things in alignment with yourself. So when in fact you do get approached, it is by the right energy. It is by your man. It is by your guy, right? Instead of just settling for anybody that comes that way or your way. With that being said, we got to pay some bills. We got to pay some bills here. So if you have yet to download the apps on all of your smart devices, take this opportunity to do it. I'll wait. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Okay, you need a little bit more time. Keep doing what you're doing while I'm speaking, because we want you to download all of the apps on your smart devices, because this is how you stay in contact and in touch with what Brownstone Worldwide is doing, as well as all of the personalities on the block, as all of the guests that are coming on to all of these shows, as well as Brownstone Living, which is the magazine. Have you subscribed to the magazine yet? If you have yet to do that, my link is down below or in the show notes somewhere, because it is very important for us to support our own communities so we can continue to put our voice out there instead of having somebody else write our narrative for us. We are now in a position to write our own narrative, and that is exactly what we are doing here at Brownstone Worldwide. I'm super excited to be here. I'm super excited to be a part of this station and everything that they have going on, as well as everything that is coming up, because I know that we have a cruise coming up. The block party just passed, the marathon. So it's a lot of things that are on the table that you need to stay a part of, and abreast of. That way you are aware. That way you are aware. Now, if you're looking to get in contact with me outside of Love Restore, then you can do that by going to my website at www.marshauno.com. That is www.marshauno.com, where I have my products, my services, my articles, my everything, my scheduling link, where again you can contact me. So everything, that is my house, right? Where you get to learn a lot more about me and see what I have going on, because again, that is a way that you can keep up with me outside of Brownstone. But also, if you need some help to get to the next level in your life, we're already talking about sex here today, right? We're talking about not having sex before you get into a relationship, and how much more beneficial it is for you in the long run. In the beginning, you might feel like, I don't want to wait. I want to try this thing out. But now, let's be real. How many times have you tried that thing out and it's actually gone to the next level? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or you tried that thing out and you got more than what you were expecting. Let's be real. Could be a child, could be an STD, could just be somebody, a stalker, could just be somebody that likes a whole lot of drama. It's a lot of stuff that can come from just being open and willy-nilly with your body. And that's why a lot of us have so much turmoil and drama in our lives, because we can't wait. So continue to use your God-given discernment. Slow things down. Know that you are worth it. Know that you are worthy, and restore the love for yourself while you are in your waiting period. What makes you happy? If the person can come to you and ask you questions about what makes you happy, what would you tell them? And I'm not talking about your profession. I'm not talking about you a mom, although they may be in there, but I'm talking about who you are. Are you a giving person? Are you a loving person? You're an understanding person? You like violin, you like guitar, you like movies, like what who are you? What makes you you? Yeah, being able to go down the list of things. And a lot of people can't do that because they have yet to sit in silence and reflect on what's coming up in here. I want you to take a deeper dive into yourself. So, what I'm speaking about today and waiting to have sex no longer makes you feel a certain type of way because it is something that is innate at this point. Point number 4, why you should wait before, why you should wait to have sex before you are in a relationship is your own personal well being. What that means is focus. I just said this, focusing on your personal growth, discovering who you really are, building up your self esteem, right? All of this is before, so you can contribute to your overall well being. By cultivating this relationship with yourself, you are doing yourself a favor. You're doing the other person a favor by understanding who you are because now you have a strong sense of self, knowing your worth, knowing that you are less likely to settle for just anything that they're bringing to the table, and you want what you deserve, and you will not compromise on your values. All of that is so important. But just slowing down, loving yourself, personal growth, knowing your worth, loving all of you, flaws and all of that, all of that, personal well-being. And when we already have all of this self-love for ourselves, you don't accept just anything. You're not willing to just allow anybody to come into your space, into your home, into your body, because you know what you bring to the table. You also know what you're not willing to take because of what they are bringing to the table. You can recognize the red flags that much easier. Those rose-colored glasses been taken off, and you're really looking at the real character of the person who you're allowing into your space before before they have access to your body. The fifth thing, the fifth thing is that this helps you to avoid regret or that guilt feeling. And I've had this feeling, and I know that I'm not alone here when I talk about this, which is um, having sex before the relationship happens, and then after you do it, it's like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Why did I think that that was a good idea? So when you wait until you're in a committed relationship, it actually ensures that you're making a conscious and thoughtful decision without the impulse or casual encounters, which helps you to preserve your emotional well-being. So just slowing down. I don't want any regrets. Don't have any regrets. That's not what I want. It's not what I'm doing. And so because of that, it's like, yeah, by just slowing down, by just saying no if you must, but you're saying no because you're saying no to the other person because you're saying yes to you. You're saying no for this moment of sexual gratification so you can say yes to your potential mate, your potential husband. You're saying no to the guilty feelings so you can say yes to I made a good choice, right? So you have to weigh the no and the yes. You don't have to say yes. You don't have to feel obligated that just because he took you out on a date and he paid for everything, that now it's time for you to make your payment in the form of sex. Nope. Nope. That's one of the things, honestly, that I wish somebody would have told me, because I thought, and I even believe, that that was one of the things I had to do. And so I did it. Because nobody ever told me that I shouldn't do it. We just assume that people know what to do, how to do it. And that's just not the case all the time, especially to our children. It can especially, but not limited to, our teenagers, the know-it-all. Yeah, the know-it-alls. Hmm. The sixth thing that not having sex before you're in a committed relationship does is that it helps you to build trust and to deepen the communication, right? A committed relationship typically revolves around the foundation of trust and open communication, right? And so by delaying the sexual intimacy, you have the opportunity to establish these things and strengthen your communication, to strengthen your trust. This brings about greater happiness within the relationship when you delay sex. I mean, it just really does, right? The seventh thing that delaying sex before you get into a relationship does is that it helps you to keep your relationship goals clear. So by waiting to have sex, it allows you to focus on understanding your own relationship goals and what you're looking for in a partner. It gives you the chance to evaluate the long term potential of the relationship based on y'all shared values, commitment, and compatibility, rather than relying solely on your physical attraction. Because here's the thing, as we get older, as life happens to us, the physical that we were attracted to the person could absolutely change. And for most of us, it does change, where we gain more weight. When you get into a relationship, I'm sure you've heard this before, where if you're in a healthy, good relationship, you have a tendency to put on 10 pounds within the first year. And a lot of that is because you two start to settle down into one another, and all of the outings that did occur are now slowing down, where the two of you are in each other's space and space more often, and the activity level plummets. So there was a lot more running around before, and let me get all cute and pretty and make sure that my body is right and make sure my hair is done and make sure my makeup is. And I'm not saying that you don't do any of that, but at the rate that you were doing it when you two were just dating, to see if you were compatible, to see if you wanted to, let's try this relationship thing out with one another and see what happens. We get comfortable and sedentary. And we all know less activity while we're still eating, and it just starts to sit there. And it just starts to sit there, right? And so when it just starts to sit there, then what happens? Before you know it, you get on a scale. And the only reason why you get on the scale is because your clothes start to fit a little tight. You're like, what? Hold on, let me see. And then you get on the scale. And before you know it, 10 pounds just like that. So we can wait. So we can also decrease this divorce rate, decrease the craziness with the baby mama drama, the baby daddy drama. 'Cause I've seen some baby daddy drama. I know we hear about baby mama drama, but I've heard and seen some baby daddy drama that to me is just unnecessary. But I also think it's unnecessary on both ends. But I digress. You can choose to eliminate and block a lot of that junk that is coming your way by just slowing down and being more intentional and loving you, knowing you, taking ownership of everything that you're doing, everything you say, everything you listen to, everything you watch. Everything. I am Marshaun Olaniyan. I am your favorite shift relationship strategist, where I help Black women to shift their mindset, shift their perspective, and shift the way that they are showing up in the relationship with themselves first, as well as the relationship with their spouse, their partner, their child or children, and anybody else that comes down the relationship avenue, because it makes a difference. You have to continue to restore the love that you have for self before you can even think about, in an ideal world, a relationship. Definitely not a marriage. We have to be more intentional about how we're showing up, who we are giving our body away to, and being comfortable enough to say, no, it's not what I want to do. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next Love Restored.